Are you living a virtuous life? If so, why or why not? And do you even know what virtue is? Well, I'm here to talk about it on today's video. I have my notes here on my iPad so I don't miss anything, and then that way you guys can actually comment down below and maybe share your opinion, because we are an open book here. I let people speak what's on their mind, and it's just a chit chat video. So if I look over here, I'm looking at my notes. What is virtue? Well, virtue is one lived in pursuit of moral excellence, wisdom, and integrity. So, with that being said, it involves embodying moral excellence in everyday actions. And we're going to go over 5 examples. Practicing honesty. That's a hard one for everyone, because honesty is telling the truth no matter what. And what I put in my notes is a person who values truthfulness refuses to lie, even when it would be easier or more convenient. For an example, an employee admits to a mistake at work rather than covering it up, demonstrating integrity and accountability. There are a million reasons why telling the truth is way better than lying, because if you lie, you are just asking for the consequences. It's as simple as that. Even though telling the truth still hurts and can still get you in trouble, at the end of the day, you're still better off telling the truth, because you didn't lie, so the consequences are going to be a lot less. And this all depends on the situation too. Obviously, if you're going out and doing crimes, then yeah, don't tell it. Yes, tell the truth, but you're going to have consequences no matter what. Number 2, showing compassion. A doctor dedicates extra time to confronting a distressed patient, going beyond their duty to provide not just medical care, but also emotional support, showing kindness and empathy. Now, living a virtuous life is very demanding on us, and maybe that's why we don't do it. That's why we're so tired of it, because we think we're not really benefiting from it. But in reality, if you keep doing the right thing, there are going to be great things in your life. Now, it's not guaranteed that you're going to live a great life or have a good life, but without virtue, your life is going to be poor. But also, depending on your situation and the environment that you grew up in, you may think the way you are living is a good life, right? You may think lying and stealing and all of that because you get what you want is good, because that's all you grew up around and you were never taught that that was really bad. So everyone has different perspectives, and that's okay. In reality, we all know what's right and wrong to pretty much a certain extent, but also it depends on how you were raised. Number 3, exercising self-discipline. A student resists procrastination and commits to studying diligently, even when tempted by distractions, demonstrating perseverance and responsibility. Acting with courage. A bystander intervenes to stop an act of bullying, even at personal risk, showing moral bravery by standing up for what is right. So would you say, off of those 2 things, do you have really good self-discipline? I know I don't. I don't think a lot of people do, because discipline is hard. I think that is probably the hardest thing for us, especially as a society, because when everyone is getting, say, Stanley Cups, that's all you want is a Stanley Cup. When people on Beast Games is fighting for the $5 million, that's what you think you should be doing too, when in reality, it's not. You have to think what's important for you and why. Out of 1,000 people with Beast Games, your percentage of winning the $5 million is 1%. Not even 1% probably. Because there's 1,000 people, only one will win. I mean, think about it. What are your chances of winning? It's very, very low. Now, there are people that just go for the experience, and that is good. That's good too. Honestly, I think if I were to do a Beast Games, that's the only reason why I would go, is for the experience, because in my opinion, I really don't think I would ever win that huge amount of money. And I mean, at least you would have a chance, right? So yeah, I mean, I guess it's all about not giving up too. It's different for everyone. And then courage. So if you see a car wreck, right, and then stopping and helping those people out. There was a instance that happened where I saw a wreck happen. Not necessarily like a wreck. Yes, never mind. I was in the mountains. I was driving up to go home, and then this guy, he was drunk, and he literally just wrecks into the railing head on. And for a second, I was like, should I turn around? Hesitant on turning around and seeing what had happened. And I said, F it, like, I need to go check on this, because I would feel so guilty for not at least seeing if this person was okay, because that was crazy to even see. And I know personally, I'd want someone to do that for me. So I went, basically called the cops, and I kept my distance. But yeah, that was definitely a courageous move. And I definitely have some courage. I'm not perfect, but we're working on it, right? And then living with humility. A successful leader acknowledges the contributions of their team rather than taking sole credit, remaining humble and open to learning from others. So basically, not being selfish. And then also, some reasons why to live a virtuous life would be inner peace and happiness. In the long run, you would have more peace and happiness. Happiness is more so, how do I describe it? It's not necessarily an emotion or feeling. It's basically being content with where you're at in life. Virtue brings a deep sense of contentment and purpose. That's basically what inner peace and happiness is contentment and purpose. So philosophers like Aristotle argued that true happiness comes from living in alignment with moral excellence. When we act with integrity, kindness, and wisdom, we avoid guilt, regret, and inner conflict. I mean, sit on that. Really think about that. Number 2, stronger relationships, because you have honesty, compassion, humility, and you can have deeper conversations. Resilience in challenges. It builds resiliency. Positive impact on society. When individuals live virtuously, they contribute to a just and harmonious society. Acts of justice, generosity, and responsibility create communities where people feel safe, respected, and valued. A virtuous life inspires others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of goodness. So, like charities, that would be a good positive impact on society. But also, the thing too is everyone is so different. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone functions differently. So no matter how hard you try for a charity, to get as much money as you can, to donate, or whatever the reason, I don't think as a society we will ever be